With 32 mystical paths of wisdom engraved, Yah, the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the living God, King of the universe, El Shaddai, merciful and gracious, high and exalted, dwelling in eternity, whose name is holy. He is lofty and holy, and he created his universe with 3 books, with text, Sefer, with numbers, Sephar, and with communication, Sipar.
Yeah, so it's the same word with different nikudot, and it means 3
Okay.
different things.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Sefer, book. Sipor is relate or conversate, or I don't know how they translate it, talking. Sipor is like the conversation, whatever. It wasn't conversation. What did you say? It was the third one.
The third one is communication.
Communication. So that's Sipor. Siporim is stories. Or Lesaper is to relate, to say over. And then Sefer is a book. That was, I think, with the first one.
Yeah.
And what's the middle one?
The middle one is, okay, so it's spelled like so. Okay, so the first one is Sefer with the ER.
Right, and then Sefer, and then you have numbers, right?
And then with numbers is Sephar with an A.
Far. I don't know what that is in the Hebrew, but it's the same 3 letters. It's just a different nikul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with communication is Sipur.
Sipur, probably.
Okay.
Probably.
The 10 separate of nothingness and 22 foundation letters, 3 mothers, 7 doubles, and 12 elementals.
And you know this. You know that the 7s are the ones with the dots. There's 7 that have dots. It's not just Beis and Tuf. There's 7. Gimel is one of them. He's going to tell us probably, I think. Or not. I don't know if he'll tell us here, but there's...
Okay. Yeah. And 12 elementals.
Those 12?
Yeah, that's what it says.
How does that make sense? Oh, 7, 3, and 12. I did the math wrong in one of my videos. I think I said 7, 3, and 10. It's 7, 3, and 12. You have to get 22.
What are the elementals? Elemental.
I mean, what does it mean?
Oh, yeah, the other letters.
Right. So
okay.
3 mothers.
Gotcha.
7 that are doubled with the dagesh.
Yep.
And then 12 other ones.
Okay. 10 separate of nothingness in the number of 10 fingers, 5 opposite 5 with a singular covenant, precisely in the middle, in the circumcision of the tongue and in the circumcision of the membrane. Right? What does that mean?
I'm guessing the second one is the normal circumcision, and the tongue is like, I don't know, you have a circumcision on your tongue as well? I don't know what membrane is. We could check the Hebrew.
Membrane isn't that brain? Or like a membrane?
I don't know. Well, we could see what the Hebrew says
okay,
after.
We could just put that in the back of our...
Yeah. We're going to read the Hebrew, right?
Yeah.
The Hebrew, you'll see, is going to be much shorter than the English. Much shorter, probably.
Okay. Okay. 10 separate of nothingness. 10 and not 9. 10 and not 11.
Number 1 rule of Kabbalah.
What's that?
That it's always got to be 10. You or count Keser or Das. You or count crown or knowledge. You don't count both. Because you have to have 10.
So 10 and not 9 and 10 and not 11.
Right. 10 and not 11 teaches you a few things. One of them is that you have to have or Keser or Das, not both. What does 10 not 9 teach you? I don't know, but the Kabbalists talk about it. They both teach
so you can't
things.
have wisdom and knowledge? Is that what it is?
Right. It's or one or the other. And it's kind of like physics, where the particle can be in both places both times. But once you look, it has to be where you look. And that's where, I've heard something like that.
Okay.
So it's like once you observe it, that's where it is. So Keser and Das are like that. They're in both. They both exist, but you can only observe one or the other. You can't observe both.
So you're either, like, I understand that. Because it's like you're either getting, like, wisdom revealed, like through the word, and it's like organic and natural, or you're learning it through like somebody else's writings and explanation, right?
I hear you. Like, or you're at the source. Before there's distinction, before there's understanding, before there's any of these qualities, you're just in the source of intelligence, or you're in the details, and you can't compare the two.
Exactly. Okay. So it goes, okay, so not 9, 10, and not 11. Understand with wisdom, be wise with understanding, examine with them and probe from them, make each thing stand on its essence, and make the Creator sit on his base. 10 separate of nothingness, their measure is 10, which have no end, a depth of beginning, a depth of end, a depth of good, a depth of evil, a depth of above, a depth of below. So to me, that is just like it's just mirrored, right? So it's like a depth of above, a depth of below. It's like it goes 10 up, you're going 10 down. So it's, right?
I love that.
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
almost like the arrow with the bow, where it's just like if your baseline or your horizon, right, is 0 and you want to go 10 up, well, to get to 10 up, you'd have to take that bow and pull it back to 10 down,
Right.
to let it go to launch, right? So that's just
That's
what
what we talk about, a descent for the sake of an ascent.
Okay.
7 times the saint falls and he gets back 7.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so it says a depth of evil, a depth of above, a depth of below, a depth of east, a depth of west. So it's just like this mirror, right?
Yeah.
Okay. A depth of north, a depth of south. The singular master God, faithful king, dominates over them all from his holy dwelling until eternity of eternities. 10 sephirot of nothingness. Their vision is like the appearance of lightning. Their limit has no end, and his word in them is running and returning. They rush to his saying like a whirlwind, and before his throne they prostrate themselves. 10 sephirot of nothingness. Their end is embedded in their beginnings, and their beginnings in their end, like a flame in a burning coal. For the master is singular, he has no second, and before one, what do you count? So I always saw like the beginning and the end circular, where it was like the first, so say it was like letters, it was like the first letter and the last letter like overlap to create like a spiral. So it's kind of just like, you know how it's like 1 through 10 and then it's 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100. Yeah. So it's almost just like if you go in a circle, it's like 1 through 9, but you put the 10 above the 1. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then
right,
you
right,
create
right.
it, and so I see it like that, like almost like a spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And that's kind of interesting. It says, and before one, what do you count?
What's that say?
It says, that's what it says. It says, and before one, what do you count? Like 0? Like nothingness. They're talking about the nothingness.
Well, it's funny that there's like a rhetorical question in the first Kabbalah book ever. They leave it with you a rhetorical question. Like, that's funny. That's like comedy, you know?
Yeah. And before one, what do you count? Like they're asking you a question. Like, is there an answer key?
I don't think so.
10 sephirot of nothingness. Bridle your mouth from speaking and your heart from thinking. So I wonder if that is like the circumcision of the tongue. What they're talking about is like bridle your mouth, you know, where it's just like zip it, or like watch your words.
Right.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Sounds right.
Okay, so bridle your mouth from speaking and your heart from thinking. And if your mouth runs to speak and your heart to think, return to the place. It is therefore written, the chariot,
Cherubs?
Chayot, chayat.
Oh, chayot, it's one of the levels of angels. Chaya means animal,
Okay.
but it also chayot are a level of the angels.
The chayot running and returning.
I think we talked about this.
Yep, Ezekiel 124. Regarding this is a covenant was made. So let me just put that all together. Okay, so over here, it's like the 10 sephirot of nothingness. bridle your mouth from speaking and your heart from thinking. And if your mouth runs to speak and your heart to think, return to the place. It is therefore written, this chayot running and returning, regarding this as a covenant was made. So that's so interesting. Okay, so they're comparing that. Okay, they're comparing. So first of all, they're saying, bridle your mouth from speaking and your heart from thinking. So first of all, they're making a connection or a ladder between your mouth and your heart, right? And they're giving a different attribute to your heart. So your heart isn't feeling, or you have eyes of your heart, like open the eyes of my heart. They're they're giving your heart a mind. So it's like, and your heart from thinking. So like now our hearts can think.
I don't know that I've heard that before, that we think through our heart. I don't know how that makes sense.
Yeah.
We usually don't think about it like that, right? Thoughts of the heart. What does that mean?
Thoughts of the heart. I mean, I guess that could be like emotions, or like emotions that your heart is feeling. But what it is it's creating this ladder between your mouth, and it's saying bridle your mouth from speaking and your heart from thinking. So maybe it's like talking about like bridle your mouth, like so when your heart has an emotion and it's going to react.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Be a real thought, like, because I've heard there's an angel on every blade of grass hitting it and telling it to grow. It's like they know what's up. They're aware.
Yeah.
It's not just emotion. No, I feel you. It's emotion, but it's not like emotions because they can't have real thoughts. Like they might actually have real thoughts, rocks, and our heart. Oh, our heart might have thoughts just as real as our brain thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's really cool. But I love this because then it says, okay, so it's talking about like your heart from thinking. So there's like a mouth and heart connection, okay? And if your mouth runs to speak and your heart to think, return to the place. What place? Of nothingness? Like that's where it's starting, like out of nothingness. So it's saying return to the place. And then it says, it is therefore written, the Hayot running and returning, Ezekiel, regarding this covenant was made. So they are comparing the heart and the mouth speaking, that up and down. They're comparing it to the chiro running and returning.
Oh, that's so weird. That's so weird. You get it? I don't really quite
I get it.
I don't quite get the connection.
Okay, so basically, so if a child is like an angel, is that what it is?
Yeah. What are we saying? That's the thought. Can a thought be a chayot?
Well, it says.
Why not? It's great. Let's go with this for a second. The chayot are thoughts, maybe, and they're going between the heart and the brain, back and forth.
But right here, it's saying mouth. Which is kind of like
between the heart and the mouth. Sorry.
So instead of going from like the thought and the heart and uniting the thought and the heart, they're now doing that central point of like the door, right? The mouth, right? To actually like speak. So it's like this right here, but so to get to the thought and the heart, you'd have to pass through the mouth. Right? So this ladder, like kind of like going like up and down, they're comparing it.
Wow, your mouth is like the meeting point of your heart and your brain.
Yes.
Cool.
So this could be like thought, and this is like
and you have like
emotion, and then when the thought and emotion are united, and then we speak.
Is that double-edged sword?
I don't know.
Thought and emotion,
it could be. But isn't that just so interesting that that's actually like a ladder, and then it compares it to the chaya running and returning up and down. They're Ezekiel 1:24, regarding this a covenant was made. So it's just so interesting that they like bring that in. They introduce that concept. You know what I mean? With like the mouth and the heart. So there's like an angel, right? So if an angel is like ascending and descending, like this ladder, so it's maybe like angelic with what is going on when, I don't know. But you kind of get it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I see the picture. Now the connections make a little more sense. Yeah.
Okay. 10 Sephirot of nothingness. One is the breath of the living God. Blessed and benedicted is the name of the life of worlds, the voice of breath and speech. And this is the holy breath. 2. Breath from breath. With it he engraved and carved foundation letters. 3. Mothers, 7 doubles, and 12 elementals, and 1 breath from them. 3. Water from breath. With it he engraved and carved 22 letters from chaos. And void, mire, and clay, he engraved them like a sort of garden. He carved them like a sort of wall. He covered them like a sort of ceiling, and he poured snow over them, and it became dust. As it is written.
I saw a shooting star. Could you show them my toes in the fire? Sorry. I did just see a shooting star.
Your toes in the fire, I think.
And the moon. Could you also show them the moon?
Yeah.
We're going to lose it. It's going behind the mountain.
I see. Moon and toes. Toes and moon. Okay. So this is crazy. So it became dust, as it is written, for to snow, he said, become earth. Job 37:6. 4. Fire from water. With it he engraved and carved the throne of glory, seraphim, ophanim, and holy chayot.
Hey, seraphim is also like sefer. It's out of order, but it's the same letters.
It is.
Yeah. Chayot is like chai. We did 18 life. And ophanim are wheels. Ophan is a face. It's like a face also. It's faces or wheels.
Wheels, yeah. Does it have an eye in the middle of it?
Of the wheel?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it could be because it's a face, I think also.
Because that is what, I was looking at chancho, that is what I Googled, and that's the word that came up.
Oh, a wheel on the eye?
Ophanim.
Ophanim?
Yeah.
Is what they call the mark on the eye?
No, I was just Googling, like, mark on the eye or pigmentation of an eye, like, I don't know. I forgot what I was Googling, but this was one of the words that came up.
That's cool. I wonder. Ophan is a circle. I think or wheel. I don't know.
From these 3 he founded his dwelling, as it is written, he makes his angels of breaths. He ministers of flaming fire. He chose 3 letters from among the elementals in the mystery of the 3 mothers, Aleph, Mem, Shin, and he set them in his great name. He did? Aleph, Mem, and Shin?
I don't know how.
And he set them in his great name. And
how much is Aleph, Mem, and Shin? Aleph is 1.
1.
Mem is 40.
And Shin.
300. 341. I don't know what it is, but I know that 314, if you didn't, not 341, but 314 is Shaddai. It's the name of God when he says to his world, Shaddai, Husha, Amar, something like Lamai, die. He said to his world, die enough. So that aspect of God, when it's this big bang expanding forever, and God says stop,
okay,
that's the aspect of Shaddai. And that's the shin on the, maybe on the tefillin, I'm not sure, but for sure on the mezuzah we have a shin. And inside on the scroll it says Shaddai actually. So it's Shaddai, that's that name. So I'm saying that, I don't know how we got the 341 equals.
What is it? Is it common for something to say like it adds up to 341, but then it's like, you're like, oh, I'm not sure if 341, but 314 is this. Is it common to do that reversal of like the letter?
I don't think so. I don't think that's where he's going. I don't know. Maybe what we see the Hebrew, it'll be more accurate. Maybe. I'm just trying to guess. How did we
Okay.
get there? I don't know.
Okay, and then it says, and he set them in his great name. So Aleph, Mem, and Shin are set within his great name. So whatever that means.
Right.
Okay, so could it be truth? Like E, like the Aleph is like an E, like M.
MS.
But is there a T? There's not a T.
For what?
Like truth. Like I was just thinking like the Aleph, the Mem, and the Shin. So like and he set them in his great name, and with them he sealed 6 extremities.
Maybe so. There's the 6 extremities are the 6 lower sefirot without the 7th female one, and the 3 that are in his great name, the Aleph, Mem, and Shin, are Keser, Chachma, Bina. Maybe I don't know why it's his name. Maybe the sefirot are his name also. Maybe Aleph, Mem, and Shin. He set them in his name, meaning the sefirot.
What I'm kind of seeing is like the beginning letter, the middle letter is Mem. Isn't the middle letter Mem?
Yeah. Of the alphabet, you mean?
Yeah.
It's right around there. I don't know if it's exactly, but it's right around there. It probably is, yeah.
I think it's Mem.
I tried counting one night.
So,
I can't figure it out.
Okay, so if you did Aleph, Mem, Shin, it's basically, is Shin and Sin the same letter but just with the different version?
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those letters that has 2
Okay,
versions.
so this is kind of interesting. So Aleph, Mem, Shin. If it was Aleph, Mem, Tav, that would be the first letter, the middle letter, and the last letter.
Right, and we're 1 letter off.
We're 1 letter off. Right. Why?
And they sound the same. They could, meaning if you have a Tav without the dot, and you have a Shin with the dots on the other side, so it's Sin, they sound the same. Sav and Sin, but in a word, they could sound the same, like a Samach almost.
Huh.
Yeah. So not only can you replace them because they sound the same, and linguistically you're allowed to replace them if they sound the same, also when it's 1 off, we also are allowed to replace.
And, okay, so I like that. I'm digging that. And isn't the word truth wouldn't the word truth be the first, the middle, and the last?
Right.
So is it saying that in the mystery of the 3 mothers, the Aleph, Mem, and Shin, and he set them in his great name? So could his great name be truth?
Maybe. I know we say his seal is truth. We do say that. His seal is truth.
Okay. And with them, he sealed 6 extremities. So they said sealed right there.
Nice. Cool.
Okay,
cool.
5 he sealed above and faced upwards and sealed it with Yod He Vav. Okay, so 5 is sealed upwards with Yod He Vav. 6. He sealed below and faced downward and sealed it with Hey Yod Vav. Huh? I thought it was just Yod He Vav He. What do we have an extra? Yod He Vav.
I guess we're using some of the letters twice.
And then so Yod He Vav He Yod He Vav He Yod. Okay.
Oh, I get what you're doing. You're not even just using it twice. You're sealing it. You're doing Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey, Vav, Hey, Yod.
Yes.
You want to start it back? That's another way to get to Yod, Yod. Besides what I said of Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey.
Right. It's nestled within.
Yeah, you just do
okay.
Yod, Hey,
So
Vav, Hey,
the first one is
inwards and outwards.
So Yod, Hey, Vav. They're missing the final Hey.
Right.
So they're saying the 5 upward. Okay, he sealed above how many? 5. Okay, he sealed 6. He sealed 6 above. He sealed 6 extremities. He sealed above and faced upward and sealed it with Yod He Vav. He sealed below and faced downward and sealed it with Hey Yod Vav. Is that the star? Like a triangle facing down and a triangle facing up?
Oh, cool. Cool.
So to open, so if that is a seal, so if the seal is Hey Yod Vav, how do you open that seal? So if that's sealed, is it like, how do you open that seal?
Open the letters, maybe?
Yeah, but is there like, so instead of like Hey Yod Vav, do you do it backwards? Like Vav, Vav Yod Hey? Or like,
We had a lot of mirrors earlier. We just doing mirrors again. Like, yeah, like mirror is the way to open it, maybe.
he sealed east and faced straight ahead and sealed it with Vav Yod Hey. Oh my gosh. So now there's an east.
Oh, I love it. Because look, if you have a 3-letter word, how many combinations are there? There's 6.
Right?
So that's what he's doing, and each one is representing something. Each of the he's only dealing with Yod Hey Vav, Yod Hey Vav, not the final A. And from Yod Hey Vav, there should be 6 ways.
Okay.
Thing.
Well, he's saying he sealed the west. So he sealed the north is up, the south is down, the east, and now he's sealing the west and faced backwards and sealed it with Vav Hey Yod.
Cool.
Well,
so
we'll
we did
have
all 6?
Yeah.
Cool.
He sealed south and faced to the right and sealed it with Yod Vav Hey. He sealed north and faced to the left.
See, east is front in biblical maps.
But it's going on and on. You know what? It would be interesting to just like draw this.
Yeah, hello, for sure. You know which commentary is written on this? Because I told you this is not paragraphs, this is sentences. This was the first, most concise book. As the centuries got on, the books got longer and longer. This is the first one. This is before the Bible. This predates the Bible.
But this is really interesting. So just hold this, okay? He sealed above and faced upward and sealed above with Yod Hey Vav. Okay, so just remember that. Yod Hey Vav.
Okay.
And then it goes into below, and then it goes to east and the west. Okay?
Each one of those 6 is probably one of those 6 masculine emotional spheroids.
But listen, and then it says, okay, do you remember what you said? Yod Hey Vav? Was that it?
Yeah.
Because then it goes on and on. After it goes which way he was facing, like above and below, now he's going, he faced north. Wouldn't north and above be the same thing?
No.
But no?
North is frontwards. Not frontwards, but like left. East is frontwards. Above was on top of you. You have north, let's say north, south, west, east, above and below.
Okay.
So 6, right?
So it's like he sealed north and faced to the left and sealed it with Hey Vav Yud.
Because left is north. Because east is straight ahead in front.
Okay.
On biblical maps.
East is straight ahead?
Yeah.
So
East.
we're facing east? Like metaphorically?
Yeah.
Okay.
And east is Jerusalem. It makes sense. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
The breath of the living God, breath from breath, water from breath, fire from water, up, down, east, west, north, south. 22 foundation letters, 3 mothers, 7 doubles, and 12 elementals. The 3 mothers are Aleph, Mem, Shin. Their foundation is a pan of merit, a pan of liability, and the tongue of decree deciding between them. 3 mothers, Aleph, Mem, Shin. Mem hums, Shin hisses, and Aleph is the breath of air. So Shin is like a snake?
I mean, the fire hisses also, no?
Yeah, it does.
What does Aleph do? Breath?
Aleph is the breath. Shin hisses, so like a fire. Mem is hums. Is that like
maybe water rushing hums, but fire doesn't hum. That's why it doesn't have a mem, probably. But it has the Aleph and Shin because it does those 2 probably. Probably, yeah.
Is that just like speaking, like the sound of creation, like like the sound of creation and the fire and the breath?
Right.
I don't know. Music? Deciding, okay, 22 foundation letters, he engraved them, he carved them, he permeated them, he weighed them, he transformed them, and with them he depicted all that was formed, all that would be formed. 22 foundation letters, he engraved with them with voice, he carved them with breath, he set them in the mouth in 5 places. Aleph, Chet, Hey, Ein. Do you know that?
Aleph, Ches, Hey, Ayin. I
Yeah.
think it's describing one part of 5 parts of the mouth where sound comes from.
Yeah.
So it's grouping those.
So it says that is in like in the mouth, and then it says in the throat is Gimel Yud Kaf Kaf. In the palate is Dalet Tet Lamet Nun Tav. In the tongue is Zayin Samek Shin Resh Sadi. In the teeth is Bet Vav Mem Pe. So what does that mean? Just where the sound comes from, or just like
Yeah, the way you formulate it. Like, where does it come from? There's 5 places in your mouth
oh yeah,
to form sounds from.
huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And Bet Vav Mem Pe in the lips. 22 foundations letters. He placed them in a circle like a wall with 231 gates.
231 gates I never really understood, but it has to do with putting Aleph with all the other letters, Bays with all the letters, Gimel with all
Like
the
the
other letters.
dance. Remember how I said they were like a dance?
Right, exactly. So if you do that, you're supposed to come out to 231 times 2, I think. Or 231 total. I don't know, but there's 231 gates.
Okay.
Yeah. And it just means backwards and forwards. So I think it's 231 forwards, 231 backwards. But 231 might be both backwards and
Okay.
forwards.
The circle oscillates back and forth. A sign for this is there is nothing in good higher than delight. There is nothing evil lower than plague. How he permeated them, weighed them, and transformed them. Aleph with them all, and all of them with Aleph. Bait with them all, and all of them with bait. They repeat in a cycle. So it's like, so bait would be with all of them in the front, and then bait would be with all of them in the back. Right?
Right. That's backwards and forwards. Right.
Yeah.
Cool. That makes sense. How do you get to 231? You would have Aleph times 21 other ones because there's 22 total. So you look at Aleph,
Right.
you have to times it by 21, right?
Right.
So you have 1 times 21 is 21.
Right.
And you have to do that 21 more times.
So that's 42.
No, 21 times 21 it should be, no?
Oh, 21. Yeah. 21 times 21.
Which is 210, 420. I think it's 441. I might have done the math wrong. I think it's 441. I don't know. I might have been way off. If it's 441, then is that 221?
231.
231? I don't know how we get there, but you see, it should be right around there. I might have done the math a little off. It's somewhere right around there.
Yeah, so like
it should follow 1 times 21 times 21, I think. No? Maybe I'm doing something wrong.
Well, it would be like A, so if you did the Aleph, so it would be the Aleph Bet, and then Aleph like Gimel. Do you count like the Vet? Like the Bet Vet?
No, only 22. So
oh, okay. Yeah. So like Aleph Bet, Aleph Gimel, Aleph. So you do that, right? And then you'd go all the way around. So, and then you would do it with the Bet and then the Gimel. So basically, I think you could just do it one time because by the time the start of the other letter, it's going to be the reversal. So you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
You know what
so
I mean?
Like 21 less, 21 extra or something.
Yeah, but we get it. We get what they're saying.
We get the process. We don't know if we have to write it out to see it. But
yeah. It comes out that all that is formed and all that is spoken emanates from one name. He formed substance out of chaos and made non-existence into existence. He carved great pillars from air that cannot be grasped. This is a sign, Aleph with them, all and all of them with Aleph. He foresees, transforms, and makes all that is formed and all that is spoken, one name, a sign for this thing, 22 objects in a single body. That's really cool. So, what do we have? We have a single body. What do we have 22 of?
We have 20 with our 10 digits of our hand and 10 digits of our fingers. That's 20. And then if you add the hands themselves and the feet themselves, you could get to 22.
Okay.
Sometimes you do that when you're adding a numeric of a word. You'll add one for the word. Sometimes you'll add one for each letter and one for the word. Like there's ways to do.
Okay.
So you could include that. You could say we have 20 fingers, including our toes.
Yeah.
And plus the hands.
Like
plus the toes.
I love that. I love it. And I'm just thinking that maybe it goes like even further. Like, do we have like 22 like systems in our body?
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like respiratory system, circulatory system, digestive system, like, and then, or organs, or like, you know,
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
We should, because we're supposed to have like sinews and all that are corresponding to like the numbers. Like everything corresponds to each other. So yeah, like the 365 sinews or they respond to positive commandments, negative commandments, something like that. So it makes sense that 22 also should correspond somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
Three mothers, Aleph, Mem, Shin. Their foundation is a pan of merit, a pan of liability, and a tongue of decree, deciding between them. Three mothers, Aleph, Mem, Shin, a great mystical secret, covered and sealed with 6 rings. Okay. And from them emanated air, water, and fire, and from them are born fathers, and from the fathers descendants. 3 mothers, Aleph, Mem, Shin. He engraved them, he carved them, he permeated them, he weighed them, he transformed them, and with them he depicted 3 mothers, Amsh, Aleph, Mem, Shin, I guess.
Yeah.
Amsh. Amsh?
Yeah.
In the universe, 3 mothers, Amsh. In the year, 3 mothers, Amsh. In the soul, male and female, 3 mothers, Amsh. In the universe are air, water, fire. Heaven was created from fire, earth was created from water, and air from breath. Decides between them. 3 mothers in the year are the hot, the cold, and the temperate. The hot is created from fire, the cold is created from water, and the temperate from breath. Decides between them. 3 mothers in the soul, male and female, are the head, belly, and chest. Head, belly, and chest.
We started off as 1, we became 2 with the Shekhinah, and now we're 3 with the mothers, and then it becomes 4 with like the elements, then it becomes 5 with the worlds. You see how it's like all 1, 2, 3, but it's all the same thing, just different stages.
Yeah.
Then it becomes like 600,000 root souls, like at some point. Just, like it breaks up.
The head is created from fire, the belly is created from water, and the chest from breath, decided between them. He made the letter Aleph, king over breath, and he bound a crown to it, and he combined them. You know what I want to do? I would love to just like go through this again, and draw it out.
Right.
Like actually draw it out as we go.
We could go to the bar. I honestly want to get some strawberries, maybe.
You do. I actually am getting tired and probably gonna have to go to sleep.
Okay.
But you can get strawberries.
Yeah, I know where to wash them and I have them.
Oh yeah, you have them in the shed.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, we're gonna do this again, and we're gonna draw this out.
Well, we did an hour, no?
Yeah, we did.
Cool.
Yeah. Here, did
Cool.
you want to turn it to end it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just not sure how to do it.
All right, y'all. Catch me YouTube later.